Yo, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel, man. Welcome back to Saeed TV. This is the Mandem Talk. We're live Wednesday afternoon. You know what I mean? We're in the building, man. The Mandem will be coming. Don't worry, man. You know, black man timing and that nerding. It's one of them ones.
Take our time. No rush.
Yeah, no rush, man. But there
no
will be
rush.
It's surprising enough that one particular Faz isn't here, Nuruddin, yet. You know what I'm saying? Because boy, he was here trying to talk the talk, yeah. You get me? And try and talk about he had receipts on the Mandem. Where is he now? Faz, where are you? Is he hiding?
Bro, where is
Faz hiding? You know what I mean, bro?
Where is he?
Yeah, he's shameless, bro. You get me? And then he found out, you know what, man? Dallo got exposed. I think he's actually gone to the lawyers, man, because Dallo has been exposed to be the great, I think, grandson of Carlos Dallo. Him and Ruben Amorim have been exposed, Nuruddin, to be related.
Exposed.
Exposed.
There we go.
Yeah, man. So what's happening now is that he's gone on the phone now and he's finding out if he can basically stop that news from going out. So he's on the case to Samuel racist Lopez.
Has he gone to Lisbon?
He's gone to Lisbon, man. You know what I mean? Obrigado settings, bro. You know what one's there. So yeah, man, it's a madness, man. But how are you, man? Everything all good?
Good, bro. We're good.
We woke
up today, bro. Every day we wake up, it's a good day, bro.
Yeah, man. It's a blessing, man.
Can't
it's
take
a blessing.
life for granted, bro. Can never take.
Yeah,
life
for real talk, man. You can't take life for granted, man. You know,
shout out to all my Sudanese and Congolese and Lebanese and Palestinians, people who are not, some of them are not waking up today. So shout out love. And big up people who are struggling here as well in this country, in this city,
Yeah.
you know, in this world, man. Solidarity and love. So yeah,
I agree.
We give thanks, Ya Allah. We give thanks.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree, man. So big up to each and every one of us. You get me? That are here, man, and are staying safe, man. You know, I mean, prayers to everyone around the world, man. You get me?
Yeah, we're here.
But we are here, man, to discuss Manchester United, man. And Jason Wilcox has been speaking about his vision for Manchester United. So we thought we'd have a discussion about Jason Wilcox's vision for Man United, man. Because right now they're doing podcasts, man. They're trying to be like us, man. They're in the podcast space. It's a good thing, though, that that they are speaking, though, because in the day the Glazers weren't speaking.
So why was he not speaking in the first 5 games? Where were they? We win 3 games and then they start showing themselves, yeah?
Maybe.
Come on, let's tell the truth, bro. Let's tell the truth, bro.
Yeah, I hear it.
I want you to come out when we're struggling, man. I don't want you to come out when we go 4 unbeaten.
Is that what you're trying to say? Like they're only coming out now.
That's how it is, man. The waffle.
Yeah.
Man.
You know what it is, though? I think now they want to be seen as people who are speaking rather than staying silent, innit? On that note, though, it depends on whether you do it for PR and you do it because you want to be seen as quote unquote good people, or do you actually mean what you say? You feel me? Like they've come out, like Jim Ratcliffe's done a lot of interviews. He seems to be doing a lot of interviews. So I think one of the things what they wanted here was the people to be speaking up and saying, yo, we're here. We'll give you your podcast and that. We'll give you our valuable time and we'll let you know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're doing it. They're doing it. Whether you might agree with them or not, the whole idea of doing it, though, versus what they say, that it depends on what you want in it. Do you want to be seen as someone
I want them gone.
I hear it. I hear it.
Gone, mate.
I hear
I
it.
want them arrivederci, ciao bella, nebedelio, ma'asalam,
yeah.
I say it in 8 to 10 languages, no problem, mate. Hasta la vista.
Hasta la vista. You know that was there.
Hasta luego.
Hasta luego. Let's pull up let's pull up his tweets. This is his tweets here. What he said here. Jason Wilcox on where Manchester United are going. He goes, I really feel like now this football club is moving in the right direction. And this is my personal view. This is not base view because I'm working here. I look at every department and I'm going to talk about sporting department only because it's unfair for me to talk about any other departments. But when I think about sporting department, we are making progress in every area. In every single area, we are making progress. The fans have been a huge contributor to making sure we can make the right decisions. And ultimately, our planned idea is to get back to winning for them. They are a huge part of the football club. Part of the history is one of the things. But fans, the generation that come to Old Trafford, this is something special. You can't begin to explain it. It's something special. It's something special, man. Shout out to Rance in the building.
Hey, big up.
Something special, BS, Saeed. You don't give a damn about me or you or any fans, whether local, national, or global. It's just a lot of PR BS, man. Like, if you really cared about this, why do we have fucking Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro in midfield?
True.
Why can't this football club sign an actual somebody? If you want me to believe what I'm believing, go and get a left wing back. Go and get a left wing back in January. Go and get somebody that actually can put balls in the box for these men to eat. Go and do that. Don't talk to me about this and that and about what's special. Yo, we know we're special, man. It says it on top of the Stretford end. You know what I mean? It says it there. You know what I mean?
Doesn't feel like
we know we're special. We know we're special, but don't. You played for flipping. You played for Blackburn, who are our rivals. You went to your career was at Leeds, who hate us, and now you're waffling to me, man. So don't waffle to me. Let me see. Let's talk more action. I've never been about talking about people don't communicate. I always think the owner should talk, but because the responsibility always lies with the owners. I want to hear from the Glazers. I don't want to hear from you because you ain't got no decision, mate. You ain't got no decision. And Jim Omi waffles, but 28%. He talks a lot for somebody who's only got 28% of the football club. Let's put it that way. Because the Glazers have always given the silent treatment to do what they were doing. But if you want me to believe how special the fans are, Yo, we're divided, man. We are concussed. You want a real truth? You just want to get the top red some side. You know what I mean? That's all that was. That's not for me. You're not talking to me. You talk to me by what you do, the business that you do, the players that you bring in, the players that you get rid. How you convince me. You don't convince me by giving me flowery language, man. Because if you want, come and meet real journalists. Let people interview. Why can't you and Rand sit down with him? Why can't you ask him questions? Why can't you, one of you, or somebody who's a real genuine fan, talk to him? Other than having propaganda on MUTV, man. I'm not here for it. But the only way to me is action. I want to see it. Action. Now, how are you letting this, as a director of football, Wilcox, how are you letting Amorim commit murder shit every weekend, mate? Win or lose or draw. Some of the decisions he makes are awful. I don't care what anybody says. What kind of some people don't know, but directors of football, after the weekend on a Monday morning, they have a meeting with a coach. We've never had that at Manchester United. But directors of football everywhere have meetings with coaches and managers and say to them, what was that about? Can you explain the game plan to me?
Yeah,
Can you explain what was going on? Can you explain why we've got the squad that we have and you're not bringing people on a football pitch? Every game has its own story. Every game has their own story. Because you got boo criticism. You got bit of criticism. Boo fucking who's Amorim. That's what you're in the job for. You chose to be in the hot seat, mate. Listen, the jobs in the world in terms of Manchester United manager, and maybe the Brazil manager, in terms of scrutiny, what comes with that. So you chose to get into that, mate. You chose to sit on that table and take that money. So don't come out and insult fans' intelligence by telling us, well, I think he's got more of a Sesko's got more of a Sesko didn't hardly touch the ball in the second half, man. What are we doing? I'm seeing it with my own eyes. We watched it there and then, started in real time and calling out some of these woeful tactics. So talk to me about that, Wilcox. Tell me you've told this coach, better fix up, pal. Get players on the pitch when players have gassed out. How many of us have been watching Casemiro last season, this season? After 60 minutes, he's done out here, man. Because he gives a lot. He runs a lot. In this system, demands him to run a lot. So he's gassed out here. Why didn't he make the changes?
Yeah. Let me continue the quotes.
Big up Marcel.
Yeah, big up Marcel as well. Big up Rance.
Big up, guys. Big up.
He says here, Jason Wilcox on the senior decisions being made at United. All we are doing now is making sure we make decisions for the football club and not for the benefit, not for the short-term protection of ourselves. We're making some really bold decisions for the future of United. United is bigger than any player, any manager, any staff member. We are custodians, if you like, and we've got to understand that at some point our journey will end inevitably. We need to make sure that when we leave this football club, whenever that is, I hope I am here for a long, long time, and the football club is in a much better position. It carries on to say, Ruben Amorim has very clear, it's a lot more flexible than people give it credit for. We're building a picture and we'd love to complete the jigsaw of the game model. And then here he says, I think I've read that one there as well. So to be fair, it's a 50-minute long interview, but there is like a case of like, you know what, man, they are moving in the right direction, Rants. But like, where do you look at it? Like, it's because I'm not gonna lie to you. Out of all the players, the guys in INEOS here, I've always said that my man here has got a footballing kind of like background in it. And if they were to give him more power, maybe just how Manchester United would make more decisions better. Where do you kind of stand with like kind of Jason Wilcox and what his involvement is, and you know what I mean, and what he's kind of telling everyone in that regards?
I think Wilcox is great. Like I said, from the moment we brought him in, I think he's great for the club. But I would definitely like to understand just exactly how much power he does have. You know what I'm saying? I'd love to understand that. I'd love to understand his job description, because it doesn't come across like a normal DOF job. You know what I mean? Because we hear way too much from him. You know what I'm saying? So I want to know what he's in charge of, what he does. Do you know what I mean? His relationship with the owners, because even the stuff with the manager stuff, it's weird, isn't it? Like, I have no doubt that Wilcox understands football, but he spoke about a game model even before this manager came in. You know what I'm saying? But nobody's told us what this game model is. So is it just a soundbite, bro? What is the game model? You know, like what actually is it? I would like to know that. And I think that people interviewing him should ask him, all right, cool, we hear about this game model. What is it? Because under Ten Hag, yeah, the style of football was one thing. Under him, it's a different style of football. If you can call it a style, I don't really know what we're doing at the moment. Obviously, everyone talks about the system, but the actual brand of football, like, we don't know what team we are. Like, we're not a possession team. I wouldn't say we're particularly good defensively to be a defensive team. We're not great in transition. We're not really great at anything, to be honest. Like, so, like, what is the game model? Like, I don't understand what the model is. This is the main thing. Obviously, the model has nothing to do with the actual formation, because you can play with a certain intent in any system. But what's the intent? Like, I'm struggling, bro. Like, I'm struggling to understand what we do. The only thing I say that we do well is at the moment we're recruiting well. That's about it. But in terms of on the pitch, I don't know what we're doing, bro. Honestly.
You know, for me, when I look at it, I think it's to build a platform for any managers to succeed and not let any excuses kind of. I know you might say, but if you look at the recruitment, Marcella, I think they're giving the platform for a manager to succeed. Yeah, cool, we didn't buy a midfielder, but a lot of it was down to the fact that we kept Bruno Fernandes. Let's be honest, like, you know what I mean? There was Obrigado FC tax on that one there.
Why did we keep him? Why did we keep him? My guy
Because,
wasn't working.
The manager wanted him.
We kept him because
keep him as well. I think personally,
exactly. So I think we kept him because of the manager, and I think when you're trying to purchase players for the future, you also have to add in the manager's kind of ideas and mindset for that, you know, in that particular time. So I think when we're speaking about INEOS and Wilcox, we're speaking about somebody that's purchasing directly for this manager because they're backing this manager. It was, you know, those quotes there are really interesting in terms of the future of the club and the direction that the club's going in and what they're trying to do. Whether they're executing that well, like what Nuruddin's kind of alluding to, is I understand it. Like, you know, action's going to speak louder than words, and you know, the next 60 days, 50 days or so, that January window is vital for them to back what he's saying there. But everything sounds very good. Everything sounds very.
Marcel, you see, when you said about backing the manager, yeah, aren't you backing the manager better by saying to the manager, listen, we've got an offer on the table for Bruno. Say it's £85 million. We sell Bruno, I can get you Belabor and Anderson. If you say that to the manager, we're having a different conversation. And then if the manager says, nah, I just want to keep Bruno, bun them two, then I know I'm sacking the manager because you're not thinking about the club. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it's an easy conversation. Like, if you want to keep your mate here instead of improving the squad for the betterment of the squad and moving us forward, then it tells me that you don't have a long-term plan for this football club, innit? Like, but I don't think that they've gone to him and said, you know what, like, we've got an offer for Bruno, we want to take it, and this is what you'll get in return. It seems like they just said to him, yo, there's an offer for Bruno, and he said, nah. And that was the end of it. That's irresponsible.
I think there's a combination of.
Marcel, 1 second. I just want to add one caveat to what Ran said. Ran, Bruno Fernandes came out in an interview and said, the club don't need the money. He went into detail and said, the club don't need the money. And then in the latest interview that he did with Sky Sports a couple of weeks ago, he said, yeah, I'm going to decide after the World Cup. Yeah. So the man, his agent, was talking to that team in Saudi for 15 days. And then we had him come out and say, well, the coaches, well, he said, the club said they don't need the money. So my guy was open to that. And he tell us how he spoke to his wife. And
he was open to leaving. He was. But here's the thing, Nuruddin, though. The thing about the club not needing the money, yeah, I think that was the club, yeah, basically saying to Bruno, don't try and use us as the reason why you want to leave. Because Bruno come out, remember, last game of the season, he said, oh, like, basically, yeah, we'll see what happens, like, if they want me, this, that, and the other, and said something about, oh, they might want to sell him, insinuating that they need to raise money. So the club came out and was like, nah, bruv, like, we don't need to sell you to raise money. So don't try to use us as the excuse. If you want to leave, you can fucking leave. But don't say we're trying to sell you because we need the money, because it doesn't make us look good, innit? It makes us look like, man, are poor and we're begging. And it was never that, because we bought Cunha even before we sold anyone. And that was on last year's books. So that means the books were healthy enough to still sign players, innit? And I think Bruno was trying to use the club need money as a way to kind of slide out the back door and people to not really try and hold him accountable for that, innit? And I think they called his bluff on it. So, like you said, you don't speak to a club for, and it was over a month from what I've heard. You know what I mean? Because man was talking about kids' schools and all these other things. You don't do all that to then turn around last minute and say, actually, never wanted to go anyway. Like, no one's stupid. You know what I'm saying? No one's stupid. You don't have conversations for that long. And then the Saudi news still never went away after that. And it's back again now again. So I believe he wanted to go. The stars just didn't align. And that's it. But I think that the club should have moved him on forcefully, bro.
I agree.
That's what I believe.
I agree. Marcel, you were going to say something before then.
Yeah. It's all about everybody's frame and how they see things, I guess. And Bruno had an option. He looked at the option and he spoke, in different times. And now he's in this time and he's saying, he has unfinished business. Ruben's part of that decision. Wilcox would have been part of that decision. He also mentioned that the board had obviously said that, they don't need to sell him. So everything put into one sphere obviously puts him in a direction where, and then the manager saying that he still needs him as a leader, as somebody that can be effective for the team to be part of the team. So I just to answer kind of what you were saying before, Rance, it's like, I don't think the board can go above a manager that they're backing and say, look, we're going to sell somebody that we've given the option if he wants to leave or not, because he's contributed to the club as well as he has to their degree and how they feel. Certain fans feel otherwise. I think he's contributed pretty well. But obviously they've given him kind of the power to say, well, what do you want to do? They've also said, don't use us as a scapegoat for any sort of narrative and how to look at things. Yeah. But then he's also come back and said, well, I looked at my options, I've done the due diligence, because when somebody as powerful as Saudi and the entity that they are you got to take them serious. So he's done his due diligence and looked at the avenues. And then, this season he's come together and told the fans that, look, I have unfinished business here. That he's been empowered by obviously Ruben as well, by the fact that Ruben's also said, I want you to be here, the manager of the club, that obviously INEOS are backing. But
don't you think it's irresponsible of the club to put a decision like that in the hands of a manager?
Well, it's they've not just put it on the manager, is what I'm saying. Also, they've also put it on the player. I feel like they empowered the player to say, well, what direction do you want your future to go in?
No, but what I mean is, if Ruben is not pushing for this player to stay, he doesn't stay, bro, because he's made it clear. The fact that he's having these conversations, that means he was open to leaving, bro. And once a player is open to leaving, in my opinion, you let them go, because we're not begging anyone to stay. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's how I would run my football club. Like, once you are having conversations about going elsewhere, you can go in it. But it looks like he was open to leaving and the manager said, nah. And they said, all right, then cool. You can keep him. But the manager's not going to operate in the best interest of the football club, because he doesn't know how long he's going to be here for. So these decisions, I don't believe he leave to managers, bro.
I agree.
I understand what you're saying. I think they've obviously, there's a part in there where Bruno has a decision to make, and I think, and for me, how I see things, if Saudi comes calling, I think you do have to take them seriously. They're going to provide a package that is very serious. So you have to, however long the negotiation period is with his agent as well, he has to do what he has to do. So he could have considered leaving, and I understand that you would see that as, disloyalty or space where it's like, you would personally move the player on. But I think if I was a player in that situation, I would definitely look at it as an option. And then I would look for back into the powers that be above me to say, well, how do you want me? Are you going to give me a new contract? What does the manager think about the situation? How does he feel about the situation? And I think Bruno got all the signs from family right down to the football club to say, okay, well, it's best for me to stay and I'm more comfortable here. But I think he's also put it down the road for next season. okay, maybe we have one more season to see things. And if the Saudi situation does never go, then maybe, there's a potential for this to happen later on in my career.
There's a quote here from talking about the recruitment. This is what Jason Wilcox said. He says, last summer was a far more chaotic window, whereas this window has been very, very quiet. This time we knew the plan in advance. We knew which players would target. We had lists. We fully understood which areas of the pitch needed improvement. There are ongoing meetings between me and Ruben Amorim with the Chris Vivell and his team. We are very clear about the profiles we need. Ruben and I set the vision, then it's handed over to Chris, and there's a lot of discussion about the type of players required. After that, the scouts go into the market, and we continue to work with the data team to have ongoing dialogue between us. Currently, I hold weekly meetings with the recruitment team to discuss different profiles, the age group, the cost, the feasibility of signings, and with Ruben present as well. The process is truly integrated. When assigning a player, there's a large number of people involved in the process, including the data team. After that, we focus on our efforts on a specific number of players. It's important that we check the players' behavioral background and that they are professionals in the lives of the pitch. This is a crucial aspect. This year, we focus on the players ready for the Premier League. With Brian and Boom and Cunha, we couldn't take too many risks. We needed players who could be involved immediately without needing a long adaptation period. So this is like the ins and outs of the recruitment team. I said it, they had to go for Premier League proven signings this summer, man. That was a kind of the best thing that they could have done, bro. And if they didn't do that, bro, that's why we'd be looking at them in a different way. That's why for me, I've never really cost the recruitment side of Man United. If you look at it, you've got to give that credit where it's due in that regards. You know what I'm saying to you? But I think for me, I still think, you know what I mean, we are not then applying them in the right kind of position, because you've got a manager who I don't believe is the right kind of format for this team, bro. So in aspects, it's kind of like contradictory. Your vision versus the manager you've got, I don't think align, guys. I'm not going to lie to you, man. Like, the more I look at it, like, we buy a player like, I don't know, Semenyo or something like that. Oh, we play him left wing back. You know what I mean, bro? We buy someone who we may think can play in a role. We then got to accommodate him because they're playing a two. So then, therefore, the system doesn't really kind of cook in a sense, because you've always got to think of how we can accommodate it for the system rather than the player we know is good. A perfect example for me is Kobe Mainoo. Kobe Mainoo can't play because he don't suit the system. Am I lying?
Yeah, but you're applying your thought to the wrong, because that's a player that's grown within the club and has to adapt to this system. Whereas all the purchases that we've made, even Sheshko, who's taken a little while to adapt, but Cunha fits the system, has a key role and a key position within the system. Mbumo, key role and position. Dorgu, a potential asset, but for this system, a key role in the left wing back, right wing back spaces. Good purchase. Sammy, good purchase. They've made Euro, good purchase. So I think their vision in terms of their ability to go into the market, the somewhat of a veto system that they seem to have, where there's heavy integration between all that's involved and consistent dialogue, is a very good system that they're implying. And I think Wilcox has done a fantastic job. I think that the way that Ruben is part of that helps, because he will know the type of characteristics and quality of players that need to be within it. It's just being able to attract, the best quality that's first and second place in the league, the best, or in the world, even the best wing backs in the world, the best, because that's what we need now to add to the squad. And then obviously the process of getting out players.
Norrie, you're going to say something there?
I've got a lot of points, but I don't know if I wanted to let the Rhino come in first. But I'll be quickly, because I want to let Rhino react to what's been said. I'm sorry to say, but Manchester United fumbles. They should have let Bruno Fernandes go.
Yeah.
For me, at the end of the day, it's the club's responsibility. It's got nothing to do, because I'm sorry to say, but if you know anything about this Manchester United structure, and that's what Rance was saying, is that the structure and the football club are separate from the coach. They work together, but they make the best decision for the football club. And they look at the long-term planning of the football club. They look at his age. They look at the money that they could have got for that time. And they absolutely dropped the ball. What are we doing here? How are we trying to remix this in so many different ways? Stop this cat, people. Let's stop this. Over 30 players, you're getting to 70 to 80 million any football club is biting your hand off. Are you kidding me? Especially right now in football. Especially when you've got things to even rants. When you say, oh, we're not broke. The club put it out every day that we're broke. Jim the Rat came out and said, oh, Manchester United would have run out of money. What are we doing here? He said by Christmas we will not be able to pay the bills. So the club do it. I just don't understand what to believe because it's all a waffle. One day, if wherever the wind blows, oh, today the wind's blowing this way, so we're going to say this. So the next day, we're going to say this. So let's just stop.
So what are you trying to say there? What are you trying to say?
Yeah, because you're
it should have been the only people who should have been involved is Omar Barada and Jason Wilcox and Vivel because they are CEO, director of football, recruitment person.
Yeah.
They are the people that should be involved. Maybe one phone call to an owner or two. Maybe. But the decision should be made for them. And they should look at it strategically what's best for the football club. So
I agree. It should have been a phone call to the manager to tell the manager that we've been offered 85 million, we're accepting it. And this is what you're getting in return. Period. These are the list of players that we're looking to replace him with. Because we could have replaced him with 2 players.
Do you think, Saeed, do you think company or any of these big clubs?
Oh, they're not asking him at Bayern.
Do you think Campos is looking at and saying, "Oh, should we get respect?" No. If Paris Saint-Germain, the owners, the director of football, the CEO of Paris Saint-Germain, make sure that one player needs to be sold for that amount of money, especially the way INEOS have been moving. They've talked about not signing older players anymore. They've talked about reducing the wage. So all of the different things which they projected, he fits into that. They're getting 80 million.
And he's nearly 32.
They don't have to get rid of people. So that's just to one side. That's just one side, Saeed. That is one side. The other thing that what you talked about in the comments, it's like, what are we doing here? Go and look at Fergie's blueprint. Comes in 85. 86, takes a job. You know what Fergie does? He goes through he looks at all the Northwest clubs and it's like, can I get that player? Can I get Saeed? What do you think Bill Shankly and Liverpool were built on? If you looked at, what do you think George Graham was building Arsenal on? What do you think? It's only with the rise of foreign managers you manage to bring more foreign players. You look around what is around the league. So when you tell me about giving club credit for signing Cunha and Mbemo, I'm sorry to say, but they were the most obvious.
That was low hanging fruit. Them two,
I hear it. No, but come on.
What are we doing here?
No, but the price we got them for, I think we did good business to get them at the prices we got them at. But it was super low hanging fruit. And sometimes in football, the most obvious signings are the best signings, isn't it? And I think that those was very obvious. But I completely agree with you. Yeah, when I look at the club, the club,
good thing,
of course. But the club has to do what's in the best interest of a club, like Vincent Kompany just signed a new deal. I can't for one moment, imagine anyone at Bayern, ringing him and saying, oh, yeah, we got an offer for this player. Like, you know what I'm saying? What do you think? Bro, they don't run like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? They run a model where it's like we're recruiting players for the club. You know what I mean? It's the same with Alonso at Real Madrid. They're not saying, oh, mate, like, by the way, we got an opportunity to sign this kid in Brazil. How do you feel about it? But they just tell him that he's on the way. Like, this is what Man United should be doing. Man United should be looking at it saying, we need to strengthen the midfield. We've been offered, £85 million for a 31-year-old. It's great business. We're doing the deal. Ruben, we're doing the deal. This is it, bro. Like, it's not, how do you feel about it, Ruben? I don't care how you feel about it, bro, because it's their job to make sure that this club is competing and sustainable going into the future. Ruben's not on the board. He's not guaranteed to be here in 12 months or 6 months. There's no guarantees, bro. If these guys are meant to be here long term, you have to think about the long term and the short term success of this team, bro. So I don't believe this is a decision the manager should be in charge of. And technically, he's not even the manager, bro. Aren't we supposed to be moving like head coaches? Head coaches are not involved in these conversations.
There you go. Thank you. So what are we doing? So 1 minute, Rance, the club make it out like this is the model. We've got a CEO, we've got a team, we've got a recruitment team, we've got different departments, and Ruben Amorim is head coach. That's why you never see a shirt, Ruben Amorim holding a shirt next to Mbeumo. You never saw him next to holding one to Cunha. It's always
that's a normal thing now in football now. You don't
because it's a head coach thing. Back in the day, the manager was there.
It's a head coach thing. So what are we doing here? So to me, this is confused FC.
Yeah.
Wherever the wind blows, they say whatever they think.
But Nuruddin, this is why I said somebody needs to ask him, yo, what is this game model you speak of? Because you've shown us a structure on paper that looks like it runs a certain way, but the way you're talking, it doesn't run like that. Do you get what I'm saying? It doesn't feel like it runs like that. Even the Wilcox thing, yeah, it feels like our main recruiter is Vivell and not Wilcox. And Wilcox is the guy that oversees him, but he's more of the relationships guy that's in between. But it doesn't look like Wilcox is the main guy doing the recruitment. It looks like it's Vivell that's the main guy, which would explain why we're linked with all of the kind of players we're linked with, and the very strong links to Steeler in Germany now, the Sesko thing. You know what I mean? These are Vivell
right,
driven.
but what's the issue with this? You're right.
No,
but what's the issue with this?
No, my issue with it is it's not supposed to be like that on paper. On paper, he's meant to be the guy, bro. He's meant to be the guy, bro.
I feel like you guys are complaining about a structure that you don't like. But
but what I'm saying is the structure is not I'm saying the structure is not coherent with how everyone else does it, bro. Like at the end, what I'm saying is, yeah, in life, yeah, like success leaves fucking clues in it. It leaves clues in life, bro. So if I'm looking at all the other teams that are doing things the way that we want to be doing them and how they're run, I would like to think that we should be run like that. Man City looked at Barcelona and said, we want to set up our team and we want to run like Barcelona. And look at the success their youth team has had now. Look at the players that their youth team has produced, bro. Success leaves clues, blood. Who are we following, bro? Are we just making it up?
Yeah, so that's you're talking about youth system. So all of what we were just saying was about transfers and that veto system between transfers.
I'm talking about the holistic approach.
Not academy.
Who are we copying?
Well, it looks like just just randomly off the top of my head. When you're talking about that, I think Arsenal have a quite close relationship with Arteta and they go with Arteta's kind of vision of type of quality of player.
How many years has Arteta been there?
Long time.
This is his seventh season. How many trophies has he won?
Also, what Radcliffe is saying, he wants Amorim to be here, or
Arteta's won one trophy in 7 seasons, my bro.
Yeah. What
is that acceptable for Manchester United?
No, it's not.
Okay, so we shouldn't be copying them then. Next one. Like, what are we doing?
But so for me,
like, come on, bro.
No, I hear what you're saying. If they end up winning, or because they've gone through a process of building something, they were in we're copying the way that they're going forward and building something. You know, you're speaking to the success of teams that are massive in terms of the way that they can spend and just move.
We are one of those teams, bro. We finished 15th and we just literally brought a whole new attack, bro.
No, we still have a lot more work. What are you
but you're talking about us like we're Brighton. We're Manchester United, bro.
Nah, I feel like that's outdated.
What teams what teams outspent us? What teams in the whole of world football outspent Manchester United last season? Name them. You can't name how many of them outspent us.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
Arsenal.
Who else? The whole of Europe. Who else?
Yeah, there's a lot of teams, man. I think Newcastle definitely outspent us.
Did they?
No, actually, let me check 1 second.
No, they didn't. Do you know what I'm saying? No, they did not. They got Walter Marda and they got Visa, bro. That's it. Who else did they buy?
Malik Thiaw.
How much did he cost? £5. That doesn't count. They didn't outspend us. That's 2 teams.
How much did we actually spend last season, by the way, Rance? Just out of
Broski. We signed. Who did we sign? We signed a goalkeeper and we signed 3 forwards. And I'm not gonna do the financial year bollocks, yeah, and say, oh yeah, Cunha was the
just
other
rough,
thing. No.
Yeah, just rough. Who economics?
Cunha costs what 60, and Mbeumo costs 70. Sesko costs.
We were in the top 5. We were in the top 5.
Well, there you go. Like you don't, bro. You only need one hand, bro. Do you know what I mean? So
Newcastle,
that's it. So what are we doing here? Like we're still competing. We're still outspending everyone. So like barring a few. Like we can't use that excuse, bro. When we're spending over 200 million, even if it's net, we're spending over 200 million. So we can't use them. We've got money, but 200 million's a lot to a lot of teams. Barca wish they had 200 million to spend. They wouldn't have Rashford on loan.
Boy,
do you see what I mean? They would have bought somebody. They couldn't buy no one. Did Real Madrid spend 200 million in the summer? I don't think so. They got Trent for 20 million.
They don't
And
really
Yeah, but it's not about needing to. It's about having the means to do it. Do you know what I'm saying? It's
They
not
have
about
the means to do it. They have the means to do it. That's another team on their hand.
Real Madrid, the reason why Real Madrid are smart, yeah, and they pay the wages they pay is because they don't spend that much money in windows because they get players on the free. Do you know what I'm saying? They got Mbappe on the free. Do you know what I'm saying? They do cheeky things like that and they wait for people to run down their contract. They're doing the same thing with Konate and maybe a few other players. This is what they do. They try to do it with Lenny Euro as well. Whereas we paid the money for Euro. So they've got a different approach. They'll rather run down players' contracts, put them on bigger wages, give them a signing on fee. But we habitually spend 150 to 2 million net every season. So we can't say that the money's not an issue, bro. It's just that we've not recruited consistently well for a long time.
But the last two seasons have been good. That's why for me, like, you know, when you're saying like, oh, cool, they've done something so obvious. Well, we haven't done it. It's not been obvious for the past couple of years. That's why you have to give it credit where it's due in that, you know, the players that you're saying, the obvious, you know, Cunha and Boomer. Well, if it was obvious, other clubs would have came in for them. And they didn't.
To be fair, Newcastle went in for both of them. So
yeah, exactly.
It's what's been Manchester United DNA. No, let's get the facts right, by the way.
We deviated away from that. Let's get
the facts. Both Cunha and Mbeumo are Manchester United fans. Both of them watch Manchester United.
Yeah, but there's plenty of Man United fans.
So that's more credit. That's more credit, Nerden.
That's more credit. Cunha's dream was to play for Manchester United. He tells you when I was a boy, 13, I'm watching Manchester United.
They've done their due diligence.
In a village in Brazil, mate.
INEOS done their due diligence.
Mbeumo's talking about Manchester United because that's what Rancher said. Because it's Manchester United. Right? It's Manchester United. So I'm not giving credit for obvious things. Now, put that aside. The big things is that the decision making, that when it comes to the crux of it, and what Rand is alluding to is, what's this game management? Why are you getting a 40-year-old guy from Portuguese league who wants to play this type of system, and we don't have that many teams playing in this country that play that system, or many successful winning teams that play that system? What are we doing? And how is he getting away with murder with certain things? And then he's coming out and insulting her. I mean, in the piece that you showed, Saeed, yeah, we respect that. You don't respect the fan. The man insulted us all by saying, oh, well, Sesko, he said, what box? What cross? How many times did he cross the ball to him? How many touches did he have? So what Rance is talking about is that what is the game plan? You talk this. 1 minute you tell us this, then you go, and then the evidence says otherwise. So we're confused.
Just explain it. Just explain it.
Yeah.
Just explain the game model, bro. Manchester United's ethos has always been, to give young players a chance. Why is Kobe not getting minutes? Like, what are we doing? What is the game model? What is the ethos of this team?
People are inventing all sorts and making Kobe like he's some absolute Sunday league player or some kid that just come from under 14. This guy... People put some respect on his fucking name. He scored goals to win us fucking cup finals, yeah? This kid, he's got talent. He needs to be obviously helped. He needs to be developed properly. But he ain't no washed up guy, right? Yeah. So don't fucking tell me you've got a guy who fucking spams fucking football because football is XG and XG business fucking stat merchant. He actually plays, can combine with somebody and actually take the ball and actually take the ball and dribble and his press resistant. What are we doing here?
Can I just say what he's elaborated? So for those that are coming in late, he said we've got to continue to build a spirit, continue to build on Ruben's idea. Ruben has got a very clear idea. It's a lot more flexible, the idea.
No, that's not clear.
I think he's coerced this. Ruben Amorim's taught him about this idea, innit? He said the idea that what people give it credit for, we've got to start with that in mind and understand the game model. How Man United are. It's important that we have put the jigsaw piece together. Putting the jigsaw piece together, we would love to have all of the pieces where we can see a very, very clear picture, but we are still building. So when I see Marcel, like, in terms of like Ruben's idea and what INEOS have to basically buy into, like, I still don't know if they still can, coexist. For me personally, in the short term, maybe, you can get yourself a little, I don't know, 6th, 7th. I don't know. Personally, I don't know where you have put my United, but in the long run, I still think like, yo, can they go together? I'm not sure.
They can. Yeah, well, they can. It requires a bit more bravery from Ruben. I've been saying this a long time. He's not really brave in terms of his decision making. But then, kind of what Rants and Nerden are kind of saying, they need to kind of put their foot down against Ruben in times based on his decision making. It's really interesting to me. I couldn't believe that. I just had to check for myself. Now, Bruno's actually getting on now. He's approaching 32. And you've got Casemiro in there approaching a certain age. So you have to kind of put your foot down if Ruben says, no, I want to hold on to Bruno, I want to hold on to Casemiro. You have to try and evolve the squad. And sometimes that goes against maybe the manager's obrigado tax, the low obrigado tax. These kind of players, you might need to say, no, where's the best one in the world? I need the best one in the world now to still operate and work with your game model. The best fullback in the world, the best 2 center midfielders, like what Nuridan's saying, which everyone kind of already knows. What our culture, our history, buying the Premier League proven, the best in the Premier League outside of our competitors, which was usually the first or second team in the league, kind of thing. So it can coincide together once they've understood and. Within that interview, it looks very clear that Wilcox understands the game model, the system, and how Ruben wants to play when it works at its best form. But if you're still clinging on to or giving trust to the manager in terms of players, example Bruno, players, example Dalot, then you might fail within that because the manager needs to have the best players in his disposal and not his favorites. So there's an element of that, but it can definitely coexist together.
As the director of football, you're the one who's supposed to make the decision on that. Do you see what I'm saying? You don't give the manager a decision on that, bro, because Ruben's told us already he's a highly emotional guy. So he's the last person you allow to make a decision, when it comes to being a business decision or what's for the betterment of the club, bro, because he's an emotional brother. Of course, he's not going to want his mates to leave, but bro, this ain't about you. This ain't about your friendship circle. This ain't about your WhatsApp group. It's about Manchester United.
I disagree, but I agree at the same time because I think Ole had this similar kind of that. Ole spoke to a veto system the exact same way it's operating now. Ole kind of spoke to things behaving like this, and we've had a long period of time of no success. So I agree that maybe the way that you're speaking about it might actually bring success to the football club. And then you go on to speak about the Real Madrids and how these other clubs that have been operating, So I can see your point of view.
You have to think about the future of the club. Like that's why Real Madrid, that's why Bayern Munich, that's why they bring in these players. Like when Bayern brought in Ryan Gravenberch, they brought him in because he was one of the most promising young players in world football. And even though, it didn't work out for them, they got their money, more than their money back. They sold him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Real Madrid do the same thing. They don't say to a manager, you know what, we've got this Dutch kid, he looks really good. What do you fancy him? Bro, you ain't got a choice, man. Like we're recruiting for Bayern Munich Football Club. We want the best players here.
Yeah, and I think that's why, Omar Barada has spoken about 2 years and out. He spoke to the things that you're kind of speaking to already, Rant. So that's why I see that in some ways you lot just don't like the way that it looks right now, but I think that things are in place that might evolve the way that it's operating. I believe it can coincide. And I think that, there will be changes where the power, even in the naming of head coach, the power is being taken away from the hands of the coach in certain elements. And then in some circumstances, in particular, Bruno, and when we put context to it, Bruno was our biggest contributor in that particular season. That gives a little feather in his cap. He was the captain of the football club and never feather in his cap. So it's all those elements that add up to that one particular Bruno situation. Me, even personally, thought he was worth way more than what they offered potentially for a lot of people and never feather in his cap. So it's just those sort of situations that when it comes to Bruno. But the likes of Casemiro, I believe Ruben wanted gone last season. He couldn't get it gone because of the system, and INEOS as a football club couldn't get rid of a Casemiro. That's a situation there. Bruno Fernandes, like I've said now, I've come to a space where I think nobody's bigger than the football club. Wilcox thinks the same. That will evolve and change. They need to get Kobbie Mainoo in there, but it doesn't seem. And they're acting in that way. They're not saying to you they want Kobbie gone. They're keeping him at the football club, Nuridan. So the behaviors are there that his time will come.
But do you think it's right telling a player that he can't leave the football club when the manager's going out of his way to not play him? Don't you think that you have to do something at that point as a football club? You can't tell a player they can't leave, but then the manager's got 5 subs and he's he's using 2 because I'm just not playing you. Like what is this? Like Kobe ain't started a game this season, bro. Like how? And it's a World Cup year. How can you tell the kid that he can't leave when the manager's blatantly not playing him, and it's not because he's not a good footballer, he just doesn't fancy him?
This is a manager that's not brave and is in a survival mode, behaviorisms, and that hopefully will change once the waves start to calm and the sea starts to calm, and we have to trust that in this phase. And that's what.
But what if it doesn't calm, Marcel?
What if it doesn't calm? Then
what if it doesn't calm?
Because inevitability happens to all.
We won 3 games, in a row. We won 3 games in a row, then we drew 1, and now we're 8th now. And the thing is, if we mess around and lose to Tottenham on a weekend, we could end up being in the bottom half of the table. Then all of a sudden, the euphoria of the 3 wins in a row has gone out the window, and now it's back to like that's how close we are to being in disarray again, bro. And this is why the one consistent thing about this football club is supposed to be the people running it, bro. Fans are going to be up and down. Players' form's going to be up and down. Managers' performance might be up and down. But the guys that are supposed to be controlling this club, they're the ones that they're supposed to be consistent, bro. And that's what me and Nuruddin are saying. We're saying that they're saying one thing, but then your actions are not showing us what you're saying. And now we're questioning the inconsistencies. That's all.
Let me bring in Rhino.
I see the exact same picture, but I disagree.
Yeah. Let me bring in Rhino. Rhino, what are you saying? You good, yeah?
Yeah, I'm good, man. What's good?
Because you kind of have maybe a more balanced view. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Without maybe taking one side. What do you think in terms of like the vision for Man United, like with Ruben Amorim, with INEOS? You get me? How do you think it should coexist?
Yeah, there's so many parts to pick when we're discussing this structure and all the choices that have been made so far. Well, talking about Bruno, when I joined the show, you guys were chatting about him. Yeah, I think that was definitely a mistake, man. 100%, man. And even if you don't, whether you rate Bruno or not, just the age alone means we should have sold him. You feel me? Sell him on, and let's start focusing on the right pieces that we're going to fill into the midfield. So that was definitely a mistake. Looking at everything on the whole, obviously there's a lot of things that I'm not happy with INEOS about. And like I said, I was waiting for the summer window. Yes, we brought the attackers in and Mbeumo, Cunha. We talk about them every week. We knew they were going to be good signings. We knew that even if Ruben doesn't get things together, these players will bail us out. So that's one part of it. We have to manage our expectations. We already know where we are. Nothing's going to change. We've said it months ago. So I know sometimes we get a bit giddy when we win 3 games in a row and then you start to get a bit gassed and forget what happened last month or 2 months ago. Even though I feel like we've been quite grounded as fans, we've been quite fair. We've given credit where it's due. So I don't know. There's so many mixed messages, and because United are good at doing this PR thing, it's hard to know what to believe and what to believe and what not to believe. Do you know what I'm saying? Like right now, we're hearing contradictions already. Like they're talking about this 2-year model, but then they're keeping Bruno, they're keeping Casemiro. If you look at it from both sides, I don't know. I can't even see a positive reason as to why you keep Bruno. I get what Marcel's saying in terms of our talisman to a degree, but other than that, like it's just a whole year wasted keeping us at that same level. Because like we've said, he captains this team, and what's this team won since he's been captain? Do you know what I'm saying? So it's too confusing for me, man. So I feel like what I can see is they got a brand new attack. And I'm hoping that for the next windows, we're going to get a midfield. And I'm just going to wait and see as the transfer windows come along. Because all this speculation and shit, this hurts my head. I can't even lie. It's just, it's so jarring. Like, we've got, like, what other football club do we have our directors talking about their plans? And it's like United, they just make everything into PR. Everything's just so exciting to talk about. It's so annoying, bro. It's frustrating. And it's like, and it just adds to this whole PR machine again. Like it's annoying, man. So yeah, for me, I'm happy with the players that we brought in terms of the attack. I'm just gonna have to wait and see, bro. Like I know it's a shit answer. You might want me to say more, but I'm just gonna have to wait and see. Man can ask, guys, the cow's gonna come home today. You have to wait and see if the cows come home first, isn't it? So yeah, January, I'm hoping that we start reinforcing the midfield. Cool. Talking about Ruben now. This is where I'm lost because we all clearly know that Ruben's out of his depth. even these games that we've been winning, it's clear as the players, isn't it? Obviously, to a degree, we can give Ruben credit. I'm not gonna just have some crazy agenda. At the end of the day, when we sat up against Liverpool, we sat up correctly and we won. That's it. Because if we lose now, we're going to still find a way to, you know what I mean? So we have to be balanced. You feel me? Like, no matter what. And it's the same thing, I think, with INEOS as well. As much as there's a lot of things that they haven't done correctly, there are things that we can look at and say, okay, cool. You know what? Even though we might not like the way it's been done, when you look at it, it was good. For example, bringing in the attack and all of that stuff. So, yeah, I think we're in a tough time, and we need to remember that nothing's going to be perfect. So we just need to we just need to wait and see. The Ruben thing worries me the most because I don't think he has the capabilities of taking us to where we need to be. I don't even think he's good enough to get us into the top 4, top 5. I think that's all cap. Because
is that
as
based
a team,
on style or based on the team? Because right now,
it's as a team.
Yeah.
Players on paper, we are better than a lot of teams. But as a team, we're like relegation level. Like there's no the chemistry starting now, and Boomer and Ahmed are getting used to each other, but their ballers understanding each other. You feel me? Like yes, there are a few patterns of play that I'm seeing in terms of like going from the long ball and then playing from the long ball and winning the duels and all of that. But we've only seen that in one game. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's always worrying going into each game pragmatic because like are the players good enough to always change tactics like that? I feel like it's better that we set one way of play and then for all the teams we just build from that. But we gotta get wins, we gotta get points on the board. So the fact we ain't lost so far as well, 4 games now, man can take some positivity in that as well. Because you could look around and say, oh, but we should have beaten Forest and whatever. But realistically, we haven't lost yet. So there's some positives we can take. But other than that, man, it's a bit of a confusing time, man. Confusing still.
Right now, can I ask you a question? Saeed wants to please let me ask you one question, please. And I want to ask the whole panel. Do you think the game was there for United to win against Forest if we had a different manager on the dugout?
Ooh.
Yeah, 100%.
That's an interesting one, you
We're
know.
not fixating on one system.
We started off.
I rephrased that. Did Ruben have the capability to win the game for Manchester United from the bench?
That's an interesting one, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like yes, because one thing we've said that he's starting to do now is be a bit more attacking. Do you know what I'm saying? So if maybe we started more attacking, because we started with Dallo, right? That's a bit negative already. Dallo was horrible. Do you know what I mean? So as much as Dorgu's raw, he's more attacking. There's more likelihood he's going to cross the ball. And therefore, if Sesko's on, he's more likely to get crosses in the box. You know what I'm saying? So things like that is what holds Ruben back. Because if we're setting up to play a bit defensive and then we lose, you can only blame him. Do you know what I'm saying? So we've got players to win. We should have won. We should have won that game easily. But second half, the players let us down dramatically. Their heads went. I don't know what happened from that halftime whistle when we started. The man, they didn't even care. Bruv, if Ahmed didn't score,
You know what, man? Like players are having to figure out a lot, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, but there's a lot of individual brilliance in what we're trying to do, man. And listen, you can say you're taking credit away from the manager, but right now, I just looked at the stats. Like, there's a lot of long ball. Man United are I think they're in the top 6 for long balls, accurate long balls. So it does look like Lemons is getting the ball, and you've got to win that 50-50.
Skipping the midfield, we've got good enough players to fill the midfield, so that alone answers another point for what Nuruddin asked me. Like, we're not playing our midfield, we're not playing to the best of our capabilities within this system. We're not at all.
No, and I just think for me, sometimes, when you have a lot of that, I think it comes down to the finer detail, man. Who can get you that goal? And I'm not gonna lie to you, Ahmad, he doesn't get that goal. Do we really create anything of no? That's my
second half was bad.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
That was bad still.
And against Tottenham,
do you know what I felt like in the second half? I felt like when we played Tottenham in the final. I was just
that's exactly what it felt like. It was
what's
horrible.
these players doing? Like, what's going on? Like, you're just in shock. Like, that's how I felt. That's exactly how I felt. So.
100,000,000% right now. And why do we lose that final? Because of the inaction and the drab tactics of the coach. It's like almost when he was playing against us. I would like Marcel to explain what happened in the second half and why he's insulting the fans' intelligence when he's coming out with just a bare waffle. Because he got criticism. Brighton, if you watch Brighton, yeah, I just want to give this context. I watch Brighton because I actually love the way they play out. And their games are exciting. Brighton, their coach, their young coach, German coach, he makes substitutions that affect games. He brings on midfielders. They got a factory of these midfielders, guys who were like, from wide areas.
Ruben
guys
used to do this, Nuruddin.
Let me finish.
Ruben used to do this when he first came. We were all lauding him about about how he's making the subs and affecting games.
Let me just say this. I think you're confusing him with Ten Hag. Ten Hag is the one.
Nah, at the beginning, we were praising Ruben for coming in and making subs.
Ten Hag was the one that had this incredible stuff where people.
I think to be fair, Ruben did change it a lot.
Ruben was as well. Ten Hag was very good. Ten Hag was very good at it, but Ruben was as well.
But I think where you're confusing it, Marcel, is at the beginning, Ruben was using a lot of players because he didn't know who his best players were, bro. We're not
that's also
like at the beginning, and then he settled on an 11. But before that, he was changing loads of things. But you're right.
I remember he was changing
his subs were affecting games.
He was happy with the
I would like to say
the changes.
Let me just
it was
say
10 minutes of madness, Nuruddin.
Listen,
That's all it was.
No, I beg you, no, it wasn't. It was a half, and then we played the last 10 minutes.
No, let me explain it to you, because you've added your context about the Brighton match, but we don't need that.
No, 1 second, please. I'll finish, then you can come in, and I'll move. Right, I promise you, I'll be respectful. In that second half, from the first second or the minute in that first half, we were done. And then to me, it's that never. The reason why I fell out with Jose is because my guy was insulting Manchester United fan base's intelligence with a waffle that he was coming on about Sevilla, telling me about Sevilla football heritage and all of this BS, right? And totally disrespecting and telling man like McTominay to pass the ball forward when we need to go and get a win at Old Trafford. I was leaving games early. So for me, same thing I fell out with Ten Hag when he started waffling and he started to insult to me, because I take that personally. Don't insult our intelligence. Tell me whatever, lie whatever you want, but don't say things to insult the intelligence. In that second half, and I'll say this, and large of last season, I've tried to erase it out of my mind. Because I've never seen Manchester United 15. I'm one of those. I'm that generation. I've never seen Manchester United 15. I've never seen Manchester United below anything than 6. So I erased a lot of what happened last season. But in the game, his in-game management was absolutely disgraceful, and I'll take that to the grave for me. Players on the football pitch sometimes need help from the coach, and players need to be taken off that are on that football pitch because he got criticism against Brighton. What did the coaches always tell you when you play football? Every game has its own story. No game is similar to the game that you play because you play in different oppositions. You're playing in different type of atmospheres. No game's the same. So for him to be cowering to criticism that he's had, where this guy loves to make substitutions, and in the game that where he needs to make the subs, where the team needs help from the bench, he doesn't do it. Get out of here, man.
So I can go now. Ahmad should have been taken off, but he decides to keep him on, and he scores. He nearly scores the winner for the football club. So, the game was a draw game, and we as Man United fans, or me, I would say as Marcel, Man United fan, believe that we could have snatched it and got out of there with the win. Ten Hag, the manager that I've severely backed, and this manager, he spoke to the fact of the ambience and the nervousness away from home. The ability under pressure with crowds, but that's a whole other point. But I just want to put that in your minds as to why the crumble of the 10 minutes of madness, or some even say 5, but it was 2 mistakes in the defensive line, and the lack of energy in the midfield, which he could have changed. But Casemiro was performing well. He's a 60-minute player, but the madness happened early, from 45 to 55 minutes. So maybe you did let go of Casemiro, but especially the second goal, he was meant to be tracking runners or putting out fires higher up the pitch. But we've got Forest players running into the defensive line, crosses come in, and spacing of the 3 defenders was poor. We had Luke Shaw marking nobody, and then we had De Ligt and Euro by themselves, and you've left Ahmad on one side, whereas Euro should have moved across and had Morgan Gibbs White. Sorry, Saeed, let me finish it. Euro should have moved across and had Morgan Gibbs White, and then Ahmad could have been over there with the other fella that was on, which is Hudson-Odoi. So the spacing of the midfield of the defensive three wasn't right at the with the centre back three wasn't right in that one situation. That's the one moment. Then the energy and the moment, and then they're feeling and they're nervous, and then it's another attack. It's an onslaught. It's Sean Dyche. It's long ball, and then it's another moment where Euro is competing with 3 other Manchester United players for a header. That's what happened. All of them jump for the header together. The nervousness, the panicky, and then Delo seen the ball bounce. Euro firstly doesn't have to go and jump for that header, you know, for the second goal that happens in 2 seconds. He doesn't. So Euro's made 2 big mistakes there. Young player in a certain particular crowd. He's made 2 massive mistakes in that football match. So it's an element of mistakes and these kind of things, Nuruddin, against the crosses in a packed in a packed box. If these things can happen,
Marcel, you know what it is? I agree with you. I feel like.
Go on.
No, go on. No, finish. I'll speak
yes,
after.
And then you know, there was lots of decisions to make. I've always said it. Casemiro is a 50 to 60 minute footballer. You need to get him off. You know that I don't know why he doesn't do that. Who else needs to come off the football pitch? Delo shouldn't be playing at this football club. Delo shouldn't be playing at this football club. That's why earlier when we were speaking to the whole thing of removing the power from, managers shouldn't have any power in the veto system. I understand that. You know, if he's got the obrigado, it just does. It will never. He will run himself into the ground. Ruben will do that if he keeps someone like Delo in a system where the game model is to have 5 players in the last line. Delo in the last line or next to Sesko, and it's disgrace. Thank you. So he needs to get that problem.
You haven't given me a solution.
But that's what I was gonna say. Marcel. But Saeed, you know, is Marcel. From what you've said, all I see is that our defense in the last 3 games that we won have been kind of keeping us in the games. They've been defending decent. The Lit's been all right. Euro's been all right. That game against Forest, they had their moments where you can say that their heads dropped or they started to have stinkers. But this is the problem. When our players let us down, what is our gaffer going to do to sort it out, to lift them up again, to inject the energy back into the game? Because from the second half of the first half, we started to give them the game a bit too much. We're letting them play. It's like, I don't know what the players were doing, bro. We started off well that game, you know. But our in-game management and our control of the game is just non-existent. And I feel like from then, that's when Ruben has to come in and say, okay, you know what, Mandem, you move here, you do this. You know what I mean? I'm going to take you off and you cut me, you know what I mean? So that's what we're missing. So when the players let us down, where do we go from there? That's the problem.
Right now, in the stage that we're in, we go to the transfer market. And that's the survival issue that we're suffering with.
But that's lazy, isn't it, Marcel? Bro? We've got a coach. We can't say, yo, if the players aren't bailing us out, buy more players. That's that. So why do we have a coach then?
No, well, football's like that, Rance.
It's not though, because we've got a squad. We've got one of the biggest squads as well. Have you seen our bench, Marcel, in games?
Yeah, but it's not the best squad for this system. It's just not. It's just quite simply not. So you need to go to the transfer market to get the best squad for the system.
Yeah, but when did we get to the point where a football system is more important than the players that you have available to you? When did we get there?
What the moment that I'm not going to speak into the history of football, but I'm going to speak specifically for Man United. The moment we employed Ruben Amorim, the moment INEOS decided to back Ruben Amorim, that's when you got there, bro. And if you're not on that page, then you just don't follow it. And that's your prerogative. That's your prerogative. But my prerogative is to understand that and look at the key elements of that. And that is clearly Bruno's not bigger than this football club, and it's not giving us the required level at first and second place within this league. Casemiro doesn't have enough energy and application for first and second place in this league. The low for the top end of the game model to win and be first, there's not enough. You know, Sesko, there's even a little elements of Sesko's game that I'm complaining about. That I'm thinking first and second it's early days, but first and second, no, there's not enough application there. Euro is very young in the current process of what he's in and what he's doing. Against Brighton, he struggled a little bit. Against guys with a lot of pace. We don't have enough greedy defenders.
I don't know about that, bro. Lenny Euro.
You don't have enough playmaking centre backs.
Young, but he's played 2 full seasons of football. Yeah, He's relatively experienced. He's a high-level player, yeah, and he should be playing week in, week out for this club. The reason why he's not is because the manager's a coward. He was brought here to play week in, week out and further develop what he's already developed, bro. Because he was playing week in, week out before, bro. The Lenny Euro thing's a cop-out. The manager don't play him because he's young. Young players are prone to mistakes every now and then, and the manager's a coward, bro.
I'm not. Can you explain what a playmaker centre back is? By the way,
playmaking centre back is for the game model. Yeah, for the game model, Saeed. Yeah. I'm always thinking about, and for me, I'm always thinking about Manchester United playing on the halfway line. So the game model is to have the three centre backs covering as much of the halfway line as possible and playing those Sergio Busquets passes into the thirds against low blocks. If it's we're playing counter-attack football, then it's that long pass over the top that you saw Martinez play against City and that diagonal run.
Hey, man said Busquets. Hey, Marcel never changed, bro. I swear down. On God, yeah, never ever changed, bro.
Oh my God!
I've never gone
to. Man said them Busquets passes. Do you know how much where are we getting that from? Who's going to replicate? Who's going to replicate Sergio
Martinez? I can answer that for you, Rhino.
Where's Sergio? Where are you, Sergio?
I can answer that for you, Rhino. All I'm speaking to, Rhino, is the likeness of it. I'm not saying specifically him. I'm saying the likeness.
I know, but we're asking for a lot. I feel like we just need to go back to basics. Like we're asking for so much. This person needs to do this, and this person needs to do too much.
No, then you're not.
Can I have the next 2 minutes, please? Can I get the next 2 minutes?
You're just not following it, then, Rhino.
No, Marcel. I know what you're trying to say, but I feel like it's a poor excuse because it's the same thing we can say for Ten Hag. Ten Hag needs the players to do this, and he doesn't have the right profiles. And this is what we said about Ten Hag. Now all of a sudden, whole big transfer window we're saying the same thing. Oh, but we don't have enough players. I'm tired of it, man. That's what it is, Marcel. I'm tired.
I hear it. I've got enough energy for it. I've just got enough energy to follow it and understand that the likes of Bruno's not got the right characteristics in certain elements. Casemiro's not got the right characteristics in certain elements. They've tried to get Luke Shaw to follow because at the beginning, let's remember at the beginning, players weren't going out and being greedy and following. Like you have 3 centre backs in your back line and none of them want to follow into the midfield.
I agree with that.
You're leaving 2 guys in the island by themselves.
Do you believe
there's characteristics and behaviors that you need specifically in football games?
That's true. That's true.
No, I hear it. I hear the centre backs push up. My idea is, do you believe the centre backs are more creative in this system than the 2 10s?
That's a great question. It from the halfway line, most probably yes. Most probably because they're meant to be in pockets and getting 1-2 quick passes off your striker, bounce passes, and then they drive with the football.
Damning though. That's very damning for me. That my centre backs who are meant to be defending, and I hear it. Modern day they're meant to be now played out.
Too complicated, man.
It's too complicated for a defender. You see it against Man City was a perfect example of defenders not knowing whether to attack and to defend, bro. So they're caught in. They've got the cross minds of right. What do I do here? Do I create, like you're saying now, be the Busquets of passing and whatever, doing all of this? But then your 10s what are they meant to do? What is Cunha and Mbeumo?
In pockets, like what Cunha does for the Brighton goal. He's living in a pocket and he's waiting for a pass.
But Cunha is that, but then Mbeumo wants the ball over the top, and he's more of a guy that wants to run in behind. You know what I'm saying? Sesko then doesn't have an understanding because you're saying that the centre back has to be the one that provides the ball. I need Cunha and Mbeumo to give me the ball, not a guy from centre back playing the ball and lofting it up. I'm sorry, I don't want to create a centre back doing that. I want to get the little touches here and there that you kind of want. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right now in this current stage, he's dumbed it down and he's got everyone in our half. And now they're playing the long ball system because we don't have those little elements that Rhino's too tired to understand and me speak into.
We do, though. We do.
So he's got everyone in our half cramping up the space, and he's saying, "Listen, you lot don't have the certain characteristics. Da da da. I don't have enough energy in my team in my midfield. Da da da. I'm just gonna send it long. My striker can hold up the ball.
How sustainable is that, though? To do that,
it's not that's transfer market. It's not very sustainable. I know it's winning games right now, but it's what Ole had to do. It's what Ten Hag had to do.
And
It's
ultimately,
what they have
Marcel,
to do to survive until they get the X,
that's
Y, Z
true.
players.
All right, cool. I'm gonna ask you one
I know
question
it's
then.
true right now. I know
Since I've got lazy, I'm too tired. Yeah, I'm gonna ask you.
yeah. Man,
So
big
cool.
up Tech Zeno, by the way. Big up Tech
Yeah,
Zeno.
big
by
up
the way.
Tex, man.
Mandem, man.
Cool.
Got the
So
Mandem, big up
Marcel,
Mandem.
all right, cool. So your point is that we don't have the right characteristics. There's players that need to do specific things and we don't have it. But if you take our whole squad, yeah, even everyone that went on loan, everyone that was available to us from this season, don't you think we have enough players there to get a better, even get better out of this 3-4-3 system? Don't you think? Ruben's approach to the system is all wrong. Don't you think with the players that we have available to our disposal, everyone, even Collier, everybody, what's the left back that we had as well? That's on loan. Amas, all these players.
Yeah.
All these players, and yes, bearing in mind that once in a while we're going to see inconsistency. Some of them are young or whatever, but based on building a platform within this 3-4-3 system with everything we have, we can be doing so much better. 100%. That's the problem. So we can sit here and want these super centre backs to do all these extra roles, but why are we making it so complicated? We've got actual enough profiles there to play something all right, decent. Do you know what I mean? Something cohesive, something that can be progressed on within time. Yes, for now we're in panic mode and we're trying to get the wins, but we still have players to our disposal that we're not using correctly. So why would you rather not use the players correctly or try and do this complicated, let's wait till all the transfer windows and fix it? Which one, what sounds more common sense for you? Don't you feel like it's easier to kind of use what you have? And then you can moan when the players let you down. Because at least you've picked you've measured the circumstance to your best capability. Do you know what I mean? You put Kobe there. If Kobe lets you down, at least you could turn around and say, okay, cool. I need someone to replace Kobe here and there. But we're not even seeing Kobe play. We're not seeing nothing. So why should we, do you get what I'm trying to say? Where do we go from there then? We're not utilizing what we have properly. So what do we do?
I think in certain, it's his eyes that were kind of looking at this not working in certain ways properly thing that you're saying to, and that's the issue. I agree with that narrative. But I think, and he can't, and in certain positions, he can't, like, he's not, that's why when you're saying all of that, I feel like you're just saying long-winded what I said, short-winded. He's not brave enough. Because if you're brave enough, you then try a Martinez here. You try to play Dorgu. Every single time you're trying to play the attacking version of what you're trying to do with these guys. Every single time.
So if you know this, why are you now sitting here hoping for another transfer window? That shouldn't even be a thought. You should just, our focus should be the issue of that we have to hand. And I agree with Miriam to a degree where obviously INEOS have let him down and they failed him. I understand that and I agree with that. But realistically, that's why I'm not even getting gassed. I swear down, I'm just taking it game by game because we know what's gonna happen. These games, do you know what I'm saying? It's funny how all of a sudden we get rattled, but we know we're very intelligent people on this panel. We know what we're talking about. So when we're talking about the players dipping, we're used to it already. So why is everyone so shocked? We shouldn't be shocked, man. This is the same guys, and on top of that, we've got even better players. So that's why we're seeing a bit of an upturn. We don't have Højlund, we don't have Garnacho, we don't have Rashford. Respectfully for what they're doing in their other teams or whatever, we've got better players to help us out. But bro, other than that, when the players let us down, we're back to zero. And you said that. You said this season, because of who we've got, you're going to bank on player individual brilliance. So that means that when it lets you down, when it now lets you down, you just have to take the L, bro. You can't now think of some next excuse. It's pointless.
Let me. I don't know who wants to speak, but I'm going to bring in Tech Zeno first. Tech Zeno, talk to us, man. Do you think that, you know what I mean, we're kind of like just kind of getting by? Like, do you give credit to Amarin in the fact that there is something working with here, or is it a case of like the players have got to figure it out in a sense of like we've got good players, like, you know what I mean, that's normal. We bought players, you know, we should expect them to deliver, but when it doesn't go well, like coming up to Tottenham now, it's a tough game, man, tough game, and we're not won there in a long while, bro.
Look, listen, at the end of the day, as you said, we've got the players capable enough to beat probably most teams in the Premier League. I think the fact that Ruben, he's tweaked the system, so obviously the better players will be more involved in the game. But I think where we do have an issue is the midfield, bro, it's a donut, man. It's vacant. I think 2-3 passes against any team, man, and you're in behind. You saw Forest, the way they came out in the second half. For that first 20 minutes in that second half, they absolutely dominated. And look, if we allow Spurs to do that to us, it could be 2-3-0 by a blink of an eye. Now, with the players we have, again, bro, we should just be beating any team that we come against with that pragmatic approach of, all right, cool, 11 men behind the ball. When the keeper gets the ball, launch it long, play off the second balls. But you see, against teams like Forest, if they want it more, like, what's going to happen? Do you get what I'm saying? So, look, sometimes I want to be more happy. I want to side with Marcel. I believe in the players that we have. I don't believe in the manager that we have. That's why I don't even have a spirit today when I come on the panel, man. It's just like, it's going to be the same thing week in, week out. Boring football, relying on magic. And, bro, look, listen, man strapped in for the ride, innit? It's as simple as that. I don't really think I have too many comments. Like, you can see how lethargic I am. Bro, like, United give you an emotional roller coaster, don't they? 1 minute, you're on the up. You're seeing like flashes of brilliance, especially Ahmad. Ahmad's come to life in the last 3-4 games, so he's finding his confidence. And I would like to see the same thing for Kobbie Mainoo. I think if he gets more game time, he could get more up to speed with the system. People like to say that he's slow, but I don't think that's too much of a hindrance. I think his positioning is top in majority cases. But you know, he's not getting the chances. And bro, being match fit, especially to, you know, be this physically demanding in this sort of system, you need match fitness, and you need game time, and being brought on for the last 5 minutes, especially in a game like in Nottingham when you should be dominating possession. You should be on the ball. You have Casemiro. He's running out of fuel by the end of the first half. I hear people say 60 minutes. Bro, I'm seeing it at the end of the first half. And the thing is, I rate Casemiro because on the ball, sometimes he likes to do this like round the corner ball when, you know, he's got his back to play. And I rate it because straight away we're on the front foot. He likes to do that to Ahmad a lot. So I don't know if you've recognized that. But my thing is, now, when he does run out of fuel, you're not putting on any like for like changes. You're putting on a Garte, bro. Like, that's negative. Why are we thinking negative against Forest when we need the 3 points? And bro, you know, this team, we need spirit. You know, if we get the 3 points and we're second, like, it's a new fresh air at Old Trafford. But
energy.
Now, even having a draw, like, obviously this United strand guy putting the extra pressure on United. I don't call it extra pressure. You're United, innit? But this United strand guy putting this extra pressure, bro. It's a psychological game, innit? And the players are seeing things like this. So I think
I don't buy that. Listen, at the end of the day, they should focus on the game.
Look, bro, it's a psychological thing. It's 2025, man. You know, players, bro, these men get rattled from absolutely anything. Absolutely anything. So look, just going back to my point. Anyways, oh my God.
What did you notice in the game?
What a finish. What a finish. Yeah, you saw that in there, I know. Garnacho.
You know, when he put onto his left foot, I kind of thought, oh, this.
He actually scored.
Yeah,
he did.
Oh, man, what the
left
fuck?
foot's working for him still. The left foot's working for him, you know.
Right, was it a banger?
Yeah.
It was a decent
solo symphony.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was lucky. That rebound was lucky, though.
Was on his left.
Good finish.
Let's see.
Yeah,
he had a date with destiny.
Oh, you know what? That's a good goal. That's a good goal, you know.
Yeah,
very good finish.
That's a good finish, man.
Shocking defending,
Yeah,
but
look at these Chelsea fans. They're gonna come in our chat right now, man.
I was just talking about him. That's why I was just talking about Garnacho, bro.
But listen, anyways, back to the point, though.
That's what I'm saying. No, just on that point you was making about the momentum is so important, and we don't have that. But sorry, go on. That momentum, because the first 20 minutes we were all right.
Yeah,
we just let it go,
I think
bro.
the stage that we're at now as a club. I think the stage that we're at now as a club. Look, if INEOS are gonna give Amorim an extra 3 years, bro, look, we know what we're gonna see week in, week out. So it's just about kind of looking at the players now. Unfortunately, we do have to look at the players. And in certain aspects of the game, we do play well. And there are patterns of play building on the flanks. But what I don't like is that we do not play through our midfield. That is a massive
I
issue.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I feel like, personally, I don't know what you man feel about Luke Shaw. I like a fit Luke Shaw. I like when he steps into the midfield on the ball, because he's actually secure, bro. He's secure on the football. He doesn't lose the football. So when Marcel was making that point earlier about centre backs going forward and playing the bounce pass, someone like Luke Shaw can do that. Someone like Mazraoui on the other side could do that. So I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing that, but they're not confident doing it. And I feel like the midfield is playing a part in that. Obviously, Bruno's not a 6, so him receiving the ball so deep, it's a massive hindrance on the club, man, because he will receive the ball with like the wrong foot, or play the wrong pass. And I don't want to be too critical on him, but he gets bullied, bro. But there's too many factors to why we lose the ball in that middle of the park, and we need to realize the middle of the park is the most important place on that pitch. So we need that governed. If in January we can probably go and get maybe a Stella, then hopefully that could maybe help the balance in the midfield. But someone mentioned Toby Collier. Yeah, go on.
Can I ask you a question? So when Mbeumo was getting marked Elliot Anderson, why did Amorim tell Mbeumo to go the other side, or take him with us, or bring Cunha this way, so Ahmad and Cunha can get more space? Like, what are the basic things? Let me. But I'm at this point more than ever, modern football, because back in the day, you had footballers who actually thought for themselves on the football pitch. They solved problems on the football pitch. Now, because of the way the game is, the coaching is done, everything they look at to the bench. You see so many players looking to the bench, and to me, Ruben Amorim insulted the fan base, the billion or so around the world. By the way, it's bonfire night, innit? Guy Fawkes night. That's why you can hear all the madness.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, for me, it's simple. There are times in the game where you need help from your coach, and
that's it.
Yeah, but with that point that you made, I'm at this point where I think these sorts of players like the Mbeumo's, the big players in the squad, the ones who should be taking it by the collar, by the scruff, they should be making decisions for themselves. You just mentioned it. People back in the day would do that. But no, people nowadays are doing that. The world-class players are making decisions for themselves. The Lamine Yamal, whoever they are. But this is my point, Nuruddin. If a man's trapped in a pocket and he's getting man marked by Elliot Anderson, see me, bro, I'm nowhere near pro baller. But if I'm getting man marked by a DM and I'm in the pocket, but I've got freedom to play in like the final third, bro, I'm moving Elliot Anderson out of that midfield park, because now obviously you're gonna have a space for our other players to occupy and play a bit of football in those areas.
100%.
You got to think for yourself sometimes, bro. As well, like, it's not even a thing on me backing Amorim, but
but listen, from the kickoffs, he's playing the same way as he played against Liverpool and the same way he played against Brighton. Like, you can't do that. Nottingham Forest are a different team. They are a team way lower on the confidence. And actually, Saeed, you talked about it before. We hit more longer balls than we did against Liverpool.
Because we've got a better goalkeeper, though. We've got a better goalkeeper. So I actually think, you know what? If you've got a better goalkeeper that can do that, do that. But the problem is, though, last year...
It's not a goalkeeper side, it's the tactic. Let me say, I'll say this to you now, right? You have two number 10s. One of them has to stretch the play, and one of them has to drop in. And Cunha is so perfect dropping in. He was dropping in loads. Mbeumo needs to take it. Mbeumo doesn't need to come here. Take Elliot Anderson out. He's so basic. Take Elliot Anderson to the other side if you need to. Give your other teammates the space to be able to play. And Ruben Amorim did not do that. He's barking out loads of instructions, but he's not doing that. And how come I can see that? I've got 2 fucking coaching badges. I watched the game with you, and I was telling you what the fuck was happening.
Do you think Cunha, by the way, do you think Cunha's position as a 10 in this system is different to the one he played at with Wolves? Because I feel like at Wolves, he was everywhere for Wolves. He was an 8, he was a 6, he was a 10, he was a 9.
You're seeing that more now, Saeed, though, man. The guy's dropping God knows how deep.
I know, but it's affecting Sesko, man. Whether we like it or not, man, people are blaming Sesko, but Cunha needs to be a bit more positionally aware. This is why I say him and Bruno, they're kind of similar. I'm not saying that Cunha's like Bruno, because I think Cunha's technically better than Bruno. I prefer Cunha than Bruno. But having them both, but one of them's over there, one is over there. That's not why our midfield is going to be the way it is. Because Cunha wants to do everything. And I'm like, Cunha, you need to relax, my bro, man. I like Cunha, but I've got to be critical of Cunha and say, yo, be positionally disciplined, bro. You've got to be here.
But those players can't be starved of the football side. It's like the Neymars. They have to feel the ball to feel the game, bro. If these men are not feeling the ball, they're rusty. They're rusty. As soon as the ball comes in, their first touch will probably be off, bro. These men are confidence players, so they need a touch for the. And I feel like he has been floating all across the pitch within the last 3-4 games, especially against Liverpool. He's very dynamic, bro. You'll see him pop up on the right flank, the left flank, combination play, solo symphonies. Like he's a one-man show. Like it's his stage, and as soon as he gets the ball, it feels like the whole floodlights is underneath him. So, with someone like Cunha, you need to obviously build a squad around him. This squad has actually got to be built around Cunha, and you can't have Bruno and Cunha in the same squad, bro. They're two luxury players, man, and you got a luxury player playing in an 8. You got a luxury player playing in an 8, bro. Like he's not physically dominant, bro. He's getting bullied and knocked about the park, bro. Do you get it? But it's a thing that I expect. So I don't even criticize it no more. Like I genuinely expect it. I don't blame Bruno, bro.
Yeah. Do you feel like that, Marcel, in terms of like Bruno and Cunha? Does that affect how we play? Because I believe it does. Because I think what you're gonna realize sooner or later that you have to drop one of them, bro. And Mount will have to be coming in. And then you play Cunha up front. That's what I believe is gonna happen against Tottenham. You're gonna see Sesko dropped for Mason Mount. And whether we like it or not, that's just the way how it's going to be. Because I don't think they're compatible for me personally. At home, you can get away with it, Marcel. You see the home games, where we got more of the ball. Get away with it. The away games, I'm not sure.
I disagree. I think the second ball. It's the second ball thing, though, isn't it?
This is like speaking to what Rhino's talking about in terms of utilizing what we have to its maximum and the best ability. Is like, and then even to what I'm saying in terms of no one's bigger than the club. Bruno's time is becoming rapidly expired, and I think it is like a mistake to maybe have not have sold him. And next summer you'd have to, because I do agree with what Tex is saying in terms of the maverick that is Cunha. And maybe that they are both luxury players, but Bruno's just never been able to capture that complete discipline, which is what we're trying to teach him under Ten Hag and these kind of things. He's just not captured that. He wants to be all over the pitch as well. And I've seen plenty of graphics of them occupying the same spaces as well. So, it just doesn't work. I think Cunha's better for this system as a 10, someone that wants to drop deep, can carry a ball, can break lines just by carrying the football, can see a pass, can maybe play in tight spaces a bit better than Bruno. So, but maybe doesn't have the long ball side of the game, but we don't need that. And then Bruno, if he's an 8, we need an 8 that can play as a 2. Bruno can play as an 8, maybe in a 3, but not as a 2. And then he's not physically, big enough. We need like Newcastle's, system, Newcastle's type of midfielders, like a Guimaraes and a Linton or something. You need 2 physically dominant midfielders in there to be able to cover all the space. Even Leicester City been able to do a 2 with Danny Drinkwater and Kante, but they were able to move about. They had a lot of legs, they had a lot of energy, they were strong players. But Bruno's not, I think Bruno, especially when Mbeumo and Ahmad go, and we're talking about utilizing the squad to the best of ability, I think Bruno should go right wing back. I think he will help in terms of being able to run up and down the pitch.
You mentioned that a few times. That's crazy.
Crosses into the box. I've been saying it. Bruno, when Ahmad and Bruno, well, Dorgu is maybe the next best right wing back, and he should play there. But Bruno would be very good as a right wing back in the system.
You know what it is? I see the vision. I see the vision with that, yeah. But defensively, I think he will get rinsed, bro.
Rinsed, bro. Are you mad?
He will get because he's one of those man. He can't show a man down the line because he will get burnt. Even I'll burn him. Bro, Bruno, show me down the. I'll burn him. Do you get what I'm? So he will have to dive in near enough every time he's in a 1v1 duel. Ahmad doesn't do that, bro. He's actually decent, bro, at jockeying a man, sending a man down the line and kind of blocking all crosses, bro. Like he's actually decent at that. So I think Bruno will be exposed. You wouldn't really see that happening, man. As you said, the best thing for the 3 at the back, will be the 3-5-2. So he will have 2 men behind him. Bruno could play in the hole and do whatever he wants, bro. The freedom ball. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. Are you man confident, by the way, for Tottenham? Everyone confident? I think for me, it's
no. What confidence?
Bro, do you know what it is? I like playing at that new stadium, you know. I feel like we always kind of do something there.
Hell no.
No, we haven't won since 2022. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think we have
Van
to win
Beek's waiting for us, mate. You see that goal last night? He's waiting for us, mate.
Their record is terrible, though. They've only won 1 game at their ground this season.
No,
so that's not. What do you mean don't matter?
Hey, bro, did you see them against Chelsea, bro?
Shit bags, mate. Shit bags.
Did you see Spurs against Chelsea, bro?
They were poor, man.
Bro, that's one of the worst I've ever seen from a professional club.
You know what? We don't win away. We don't win away.
Bro, every ball they had, they launched it, bro. They couldn't keep possession. Xavi Simons looks like he's on ice skates, bro. He doesn't look like he's ready for Premier League football.
We'll say that on Rants here show before. Like, we don't win away from home. They don't lose. They don't win at home. So it's looking like a draw. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you were to analyze it from that point of view, it's looking like a draw.
Do you know what it is, Saeed? Yeah, for me, yeah, I think the only way we win this game is if we start seeing some of the bits and pieces we've seen from when we won the 3 games in a row, like our defense being solid, not many bozo moments, and just resolute. If we can defend well, and then we can have a day again when Ahmad and Broom and them are turning up, then definitely we can get at them. But we just don't know. We're back to this roll the dice FC. We just don't know if the players are going to turn up. And because we're relying on them, you're going to catch these guys on off days. Not in the Forest, to me, when I look at it, it was an off day. It was a bad day at the office for the players, man.
It wasn't just the players, it was the coach as well. He was horrendous.
Yeah, definitely, because they had no one to turn to. We needed to make changes. We needed to make changes in the field and up front. And he chickened out. Yeah.
Well, let's be real here. Casemiro is done. After every game, he's done around the 50 minutes, about 60 minutes, man. Why are you keeping him on and letting Elliot Anderson bust the fucking game?
No,
Elliot
that's
Anderson
true.
doing things, you know. Off the ball, he's man marking in Bermo. On the ball, he's dictating the play.
Has Ruben Amorim ever made an effective change before? That's the real question.
Last season, but I don't remember, bro. I erased
this season. No,
horrendous form last season, mate.
That's an issue, and that's a massive issue.
That's what I'm saying. But you remember them times, there were things that he was doing that were working, but them times he was changing up everything. So we don't know if he was just freestyling anyway. Do you know what I mean? He was freestyling for time. Where I remember we started to get frustrated when he never had a starting 11, and for even a good 6 months we still didn't have a starting 11. So we don't know if that boils down to just him falling on luck, or if he actually knew what he was doing. But I don't think he knew, man. It's tough, man. It's difficult, bro, because there's too much favoritism, man. There's too much favoritism. We're not going to get nowhere.
We win. I said top 5 for me, top 4. I'm still confident this season, Mandem. You know what I mean? Throughout the whole negativity that surrounds maybe my judgment on the manager, I still believe we could get top 4, top 5. I still feel like this league, you know what I mean? It's not the most, I think, strongest in terms of consistency. I think Arsenal is showing a level of consistency. The rest, we're all kind of similar. I can't lie to you, man. Liverpool, we're all in the same boat, man. Them. It's whether.
No, bro. This is what I'm saying.
We're not. We're not, Saeed.
No, man, City. I think people are overgassing City, man. No, Nuruddin. This is what you do, Nuruddin. Yeah, Nuruddin, you overgas everyone else, yeah. But then you don't.
I see what you
overgas everyone else, bro.
City are getting it together, mate. See, I no longer like.
He's playing anti-football, though. He's playing anti-football.
Come on, man. But it's working for them.
Come, bro. So when it works for Man United, is it negativity then, or what?
No, but
this is why I'm here for vibes now.
No, what the fuck we're doing.
No, what I'm trying to say to you is that everyone's got their problems, bro. It's whether who can manage to be the least inconsistent, bro. That's what I believe it is. United need to look into games thinking, yo, let's just collect our points here, win these games. That's why for me, near enough every game is becoming that game where you can't afford to lose, bro. If you can't win it, do not lose it. That's where we're at right now. But do I look at it and I'm going to give up? I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up.
Any European football ambition, you need to win games. And especially
of course you need to win games.
You need to win games. You need to, your whole away record needs to be better.
Yeah, exactly.
Every away game is being shit. Yeah, but you know what? We don't have a fucking Haaland. We don't. They have Haaland. And what? They get fucking points. He makes sure he digs them out. That's the reason why. So don't doubt because they got Haaland.
I hear it.
He's there.
Once Haaland gets injured,
fucking net. We don't have that.
Yeah.
We've got fucking strikers who can't even get a touch in the second half because of the fucking coach's tactics. But nobody wants to talk about it.
Yeah. That's why I can't really pop down these teams, man, then, because bro, they're just ahead of us. They're just ahead of us, man. Saeed, you're just hoping to catch them on a bad day. If we play well against Tottenham,
I've got evidence to suggest that Man United should be going there to win. I've got evidence. I don't think it's as doom and gloom to think we can't go to Tottenham and expect to win. I don't think it is. You know what I mean?
Anything in life is possible, Saeed.
It's the same thing we were saying against Liverpool, man. You get me? You got Musa talking about a bully and getting punched up and that on road.
Yeah,
and he's
man.
not backing it and that. Like, look, come on. Look, let's be realistic, guys. Let's be realistic. We've got a good enough squad to beat, man. That's why I'm saying, look, for the rest of the season, I am here for vibes. You know, when you go to them family parties, bro, it's meaty. Like, your cousin's not even bring a nice thing to come see. Like, the food's cold, wet meat. Like, it's wet outside. Dead, but you're there for the vibes, bro.
You're there for the vibe.
Yeah, you're in a bit of bashment. You're seeing a little tutu. You're there for the vibes, bro. Cut the birthday cake and season done. So, man, just want to see a couple flashes of magic for the remainder of the season. That's it. We're playing one game a week. It's got to a point where man's like, yo, do you know what? Man's watching Barca more now. Like, oh, I'm watching PSG more now. I do not really even care what's going on, because even when I put my feelings out there, guys are telling me, yo, look, believe. I don't believe anymore. I don't believe. The players are good enough to just work it out themselves, and if they don't want to, so be it, bro.
Yeah. Marcel, let me know what you think. You know what I mean? Are you confident, Tottenham?
Yeah, I am. Like I said, it's Moments FC. I said that from, I think the ball was kicked. So I'm looking at the certain players within the team. Obviously, Cunha to produce more moments. Obviously, he came off the back of an injury, but he's been playing well since he's back. I think Brian's is like one of the most creative players in the league, or expected assist or something like that. So he's going to continue to do well. It's just the jury's out on Sesko in terms of what he produces when he gets his few and far between moments, which is an issue. I think he had a great pass from Brian in the first half, which he could have brought down. Then he had the good play. Then you said he's going to be respectful there. Then you have the great play, obviously, in the first half with the cutback, and then he misses scuffs the pass for the. So he's had a couple little half chances there. So he needs to do a little bit more for me. But
Rhino, look,
it's
Marcel,
there, so.
Get on to Rhino, bro. You done it to me. He is laughing, bro. He is laughing at you. Get onto this guy.
No, it's just the way he said. It's just the way his undertone for when he said. You said you're going to be respectful, but there's a cheekiness to it. That it's like he's cheeky without trying. It's funny. It's hilarious.
He's got
swag. It's a factual statement. That's what he said. So I'm just bringing it up, and I can only hear his voice, which is like, come on, you need to be in line with what you said. That's all I'm doing. Yeah. So anyway, there's a little bit of improvement, or just little things. I understand what G Nev is saying, because I said it straight at the end of the game. Like I can see the elements of what Sesko is not doing that would take him to the next level. And there was a couple moments there where if he lets that pop ball run, Bruno's right there for a tap-in. If he brings down the ball and is focusing on the pass, the big switch that Brian put, it's on the plate. You're through on goal now. It's just those little 1% that I'm looking at thinking, and then just in himself,
don't do absolute.
Just in himself, he needs to shout to players more. He needs to shout for the football more. He needs to communicate. There's little things as a striker that he could be doing more to offer himself for the team. So it's
I hear you. Do you know what? For a man that physically
early in the game.
For a man that physically big, he needs to show his presence a bit more. I do hear that, Marcel.
I do. I think you're right.
There's times where I feel like he's a bit soft, like
Yeah, he's getting barged off the ball, getting centre back. And it's like,
he'll get there. He'll get there. Man. Let me get these super chats.
No,
Fuzz.
you're not getting no super chats. I'm not on my thing.
What you mean, man?
As it is now, right? Let me just say this. I told all you lot that getting another striker, we should have spent the money on the midfield or improving the different part of the base of the flipping team. We need a striker. I kept telling you, Manchester United do not have the midfield and don't play through midfield to be able to have sustained attack and to help their striker out. I told you lot that is a graveyard to play up front for Manchester United because the way the teams are structured, of the multiple managers. So what are we waffling about here? Now we're going to scapegoat this kid when I've already told you what was going to happen in the fucking summer. What's going on here? How are you blaming him?
Got a point.
Okay. Faz, we hammering out as no apology hold that we need. We played relegation ball versus Forest United. We lose to Spurs. Don't act shocked. We used to mock them. They slapped us 4 times last season. Aslan said Nuruddin is a hypocrite. I remember when Cunha rumors started, he said it was PR and we won't get him. Constantly moving goalposts. Self-hate is tiring. Big up to, I think managers have a say in transfers, even if it's 30% say. They have a say or they're going to bench the F out the player. Fergie, Wenger rejected people. Get Nuruddin to sit with Sir Jim and sort their beef out. I don't think that will happen. You guys not giving manager enough credit. He did set up good with good players, with good game plans for Liverpool and Brighton. This wasn't on individuals.
Yeah, we gave the credit. That's what I'm saying, but there has to be balance as well.
Yeah. Faz is not here, man. He's at football training, I think, man. He didn't want to smoke, man, today. You know, this is why I always will rate Marcel. You see Marcel, yeah? He always faces the music, man. And he explains himself well. You see Faz, he's hiding, bro. He's hiding. Not only has he got a case with Dallo.
He's in Portugal,
He's in Portugal, man. Faz. And then he's going to be back here next week.
Relation between Diego Dalot and Amarim. That's what he's doing. And can I just talk to that person who's the person who did a super chat? Let me just say something now. If you go back at a time when I was saying that, Cunha was heavily linked to Arsenal. So what are we doing here? I didn't know that he's a diehard Manchester United fan. Something I found out later. So what are we doing here?
Research.
How many players have Manchester United been linked to, and how many of them have come? You need to give yourself, go in the mirror and give yourself a slap, because that's what you deserve.
Waffle. Don't slap yourself, man. It's all good, man. It's all good. Big up to everyone locked in. Please hit the like button, guys. I don't know what likes we're on right now, but I guess it's not enough. We are currently on 653. That is shocking, guys. You know what I mean? I don't know what you lot are playing at. Get that up, people. If you're watching right now, I'm looking at you right there. Hit the like button. Bottom right-hand corner. Go on your remote. Hit the like button. No excuses, man. Make sure you're not following everyone.
Big up to all the kids that are doing bonfire, but please be careful. Fireworks are dangerous. Make sure you do it responsibly. Big up to all the Caribbean islands, man. Hold tight, Jamaica, and the people that are suffering.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Support the
people everywhere.
The Cubans and the Haitians as well. They suffered as well. Love.
Yeah. People, make sure you.
It's always this, innit? And people ask me, why are you talking about Palestine? It's the litmus test. Because I live in a Zionist fucking country, that's why. So you know.
Yeah. Absolutely. Make sure you lot follow Nuruddin. He'll be live later on tonight, 10 p.m.
10 o'clock, people, 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Big up to you. Big up.
More into the detail of the Wilcox waffle. I don't need you to be doing PR, pal. I need action in January. You were telling me about Ruben this, Ruben that. Back him then.
Make sure you follow up Marcel as well. Make sure you're following Marcel. Channel still available. Yeah. Big up to Rhino as well, man. Any projects you got? You want to shout out, bro?
Nah, man. We took a little. I wouldn't even say it's a little break. We're just rejigging some things in the background, but we're gonna just stay on point. That's what I'm gonna say, because you can't miss the train when it comes. You feel me? So just stay on point. But yeah, obviously we've done a lot of stuff in the last few weeks as well, which is great. But yeah, we're just loading up for the next single still. So just keep your eyes peeled is what I'll say still.
Yo, music-wise, big up to Stanton Dave, man. What an album.
Yeah, I haven't listened to that album yet, you know.
What,
Cold,
Rhino?
cold.
What are you doing,
I haven't.
like?
I need to be in a specific mode, like whether maybe if I'm on the M
I
way
hear it, bro.
or
I'm the
something.
same way,
Yeah,
bro.
because I want to
Same
make
way.
sure that trust me. Yeah, you feel me?
vibe, man.
Yeah.
Vibe, man.
Yeah. Tap into
man.
a different
Hopefully one day we
frequency,
get
man.
Dave on the Mandem talk one day, man. I know he's a United fan, so you get me. We'll try
Yeah,
and
you
get
never
him.
know, man.
The UAE, Free Sudan.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Shells as well, man. Hopefully get Shells on the Mandem
Big up
talk.
Shells.
They got Shells as well, man. You get me. Big up to Texino as well, man. Let them know what you got coming up, bro.
Big up, man. Big up the Mandem. Literally, same motion, man. Non-stop videos, man. The hood's Peter Jury, man. We're outside, obviously. Starting to be a bit dynamic now, putting the face out there. Going to a few events and stuff as well. So hopefully some good things around the corner, man. But listen, smash the like, guys, man. Smash the likes, guys. Love, man. And big up the panel. Big up the panel, man.
Oh yeah, I even forgot, Saeed. You said what happened recently. We went to Germany. That's what I forgot to say.
Yeah, I was gonna say you went to Germany.
Yeah, we did a show in Germany. And it was listen, big up Germany, man. You
Where
guys
did you
were
go,
lit.
Rhino? Where did you go?
Munich. Went to Munich still.
Munich, I went there.
I think the day before, the same day of the event, we passed through the Allianz Arena as well. So that's the first time I've been there. Beautiful stadium, man. Beautiful, and especially when it goes dark and it lights up. It's mad.
Yeah.
Like, Old Trafford, we need to pattern up, man. That's it.
Oh, San Siro getting a new stadium, you know. San Siro. Have you heard about that?
They're building a new stadium.
Nah.
Yeah.
I want to go to international game though, because I heard that like international like vibe is just different. Like,
yeah,
I've always wanted to go to international games too. Yeah,
I'm on it, man. If you man are on it, let me know. I don't mind randomly going to some national.
Yo, I want to go to the African nations, mate. Trust me, around Karimbo. Anybody in Morocco, man. We're here.
Yeah, this is foreign games.
I
want to go.
But people, man, we'll need to wrap it up here. I'll be doing the Club Brugge Barcelona game, and tonight the Champions League games are quite dead. I can't lie. Marseille playing. I might check what Marseille are on.
Marseille Atlanta, that'll be a good game.
Yeah, that'll be a decent game, man. So yeah, I'll tune in. But
this Chelsea game's all right, you know, Saeed.
I'm gonna rush the last 10 minutes.
Azerbaijan, you know, Chelsea's struggling with a team from Azerbaijan, you know.
Man, they're not used to this, man. You know what I mean? They're used to Conference League football, man. You know what I mean? Get us in there, man. You know what I mean? It's crazy. But listen, people, chat to you lot later, man. We're out. Peace.